5 critical pieces of triathlon training gear. My beloved floaty pants. How dare you call him little? What's up, Trainiacs? By popular demand, I've been getting a few thousand questions about gear. Power meters, heart rate monitors, shoes, what bike brand I like, what kind of floaty pants I use, what Speedos are the best Speedos. Actually, nobody asked me that, but they should. So I figured, why not go through the 5 critical pieces of triathlon training gear that I can't do without. This is stuff that makes my training more enjoyable, makes my training more consistent, makes my training more purposeful, keeps me injury free, and keeps my, yeah, we won't talk about down there just yet. Let's go look. First most favorite item, not the bike. Actually, I love the bike, but it's the PowerTap P1 power pedals. And when I got these, I knew that I needed a power meter because when you start really purposeful training, it's important to have a power meter on your bike because it gives you really defined metrics that you can structure your training around. Because this gives you like exact readings that you know when you're going easy, when you're going hard, when you're going the exact right race pace for you, even if you are on the trainer, and it takes all of the variables of heat, wind, incline, heart rate, whether you had a good pee in the morning, yada, 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 all that out of it. It's just a number that, bam, you know 100% that you're either hitting it the right number or you're not. These pedals specifically I went with because I wanted to be able to switch them from bike to bike easily. I didn't want to have to take off an entire bottom bracket or an entire wheel. And I went with the PowerTap ones because even though I've said that they look kind of clunky, apparently they're the most reliable power pedals out there. But I found that the PowerTap P1 power pedals, besides having a bunch of P's in the name and being super awesome, they've been totally reliable. That's number 1. Okay. The second most important critical piece of training gear that I've got is heart rate monitoring enabled GPS watch. In the early parts of training, you're doing a lot of structuring around heart rate for your pacing. So your heart rate will often figure out your run pacing that you can sustain over a long period of time without blowing up. With the GPS watch, not only am I looking at specific pace times, but I'm referring it to the heart rate that I'm putting out. And that heart rate that I'm putting out allows me to have kind of a standard measure that I can check depending on whether I'm at this altitude in Winnipeg and this climate in Winnipeg, or I go down to Austin where it's probably going to be hotter, it's going to be hillier, and heart rate is a really good indicator on the run of how hard you're pushing. In addition to that, in the beginning parts of the season, you want to do a lot of low heart rate, controlled base building type of work. And if you don't have a heart rate monitored watch, you ain't gonna be doing that. Right now, I'm using the Garmin 920 XT. When I bought it, it was the top of the line. And now it's still really good. It's got almost all the features that you want. However, it's not Garmin's #1 premier put it on a cover kind of watch, but it's a really good bang for your buck at about $280 instead of the Phoenix 3, which I think is like $400 to $500. That's number 2. Now, while I'm down here, the third most critical piece of gear is running shoes, and not just any running shoes, a new set of running shoes that still have a fair bit of cushion in them, a fair bit of spring. I find that as soon as a running shoe loses that structure in the sole and just in general goes from like a new running shoe to an old running shoe, I find it usually happens around 150 to 200 miles. I start getting small little injuries that start often right here on the outside of my ankle and then transfer up my knee. That to me is the very first indication that it's time to upgrade my running shoes to a new set. And I was always somebody that thought like, you know what, I don't need new running shoes. Everyone with their new running shoes, like, no. Injury-free is key because then you can be consistent, and consistency is how you build speed. The ones that I'm using right now are Skechers. These are the GoMeb Razors. But basically in my case, I'm not overly fussy on what brand of shoe I've got or what model of shoe I've got. If it's a neutral, light, slightly cushioned, but not overly squishy. It doesn't have to be a 0 drop, but a minimal drop, like maybe a 2 to 6 millimeter drop from heel to toe, and it's comfy and I don't get blisters, I go with it. New running shoes, it's number 3. Now, the fourth most critical piece of training gear for me is my beloved, haven't made a big appearance in the vlog lately, floaty pants. Yeah, these were a bit of a dark horse. I didn't think that they'd make it, but I thought about it and I went, what is the #1 swim training piece of gear that keeps me coming back more regularly? It's not goggles, I don't get psyched up about it. Pull boy, yeah, I like the pull boy, but it's not like I've got my favorite pull boy. Kickboard, I have a love-hate relationship with them. Paddles, meh. Snorkel, very important, but I don't love it. However, floaty pants, they keep me coming back to the pool more regularly. Basically, the deal that I make with myself is any day that I'm feeling like a suck and I don't want to get up and I don't want to go to the pool, I say, you know what, Taren? You can go to the pool if you wear your floaty pants. And then I'm like, yeah, I love a good floaty pants swim. So much easier. Sign me up. So while I don't say that these are a very excellent piece of gear for you to become a better swimmer, consistency will make you a better swimmer. So if I gotta make a choice between not swimming and not wearing floaty pants, or swimming because I'm gonna wear floaty pants, that choice is really easy. So these are like a good incentive to keep me swimming. Hence, floaty pants made the list. Now these ones specifically are the Roka Sim shorts, but there's no reason that it can't be any other brand. Basically just a wetsuit bottom is all you need. Okay, now the fifth and final critical piece of gear that helped me be a better triathlete, in this case for consistent purposes, is D's Nuts Chamois Cream. Yeah, that's right, I said it. And there's nothing in particular about D's Nuts that is the be-all end-all of chamois cream. I found that it consistently fends off saddle sores, infections in my around my little Taren region. How dare you call him little? And if you can make your time in the saddle more comfortable, you're gonna ride more. And I ride 5 times a week to work and back commuting. I do 2 weekday morning rides. I do a big workout on the weekend and then a small workout on the weekend. So I'm on the bike upwards of 10 to 12 hours a week. And you can be sure that this is a big help. I'll save you the details of why it's a big help, but it's a really big help. In general, with chamois cream, you want something that's antibacterial, antimicrobial, is soothing, the stuff is numbing, and ideally, smells good. So there you go, Trainiacs. Those are the 5 bits of triathlon training gear that I can't go without. And if you notice, there's a trend there. It's typically about being able to keep me consistent. You might be saying, hey Taren, what about the power pedals and the watch? Those are gadgets and those aren't about consistency. Well, they kind of are, because it's about consistently doing just enough of a right workout that you have to get the proper training effect. It's not about going out and smashing yourself over and over and over. It's about doing little bits of a workout that are purposeful over and over. And then the other 3, the sim shorts, the fresh shoes, the D's Nuts chamois cream. It's all about keeping me injury free and keeping me training day after day after day. So there, I will put links in the description below to where you can find all of these on Amazon. If you want to support the channel, it's an easy way to do that by clicking through those links. Anything that you buy in the 24 hours after clicking those links won't cost you a cent extra, but Amazon sends us some loose commission change, so helps us out quite a bit. There you go, Trainiacs. Favorite gear, done.